Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday, and that means one thing and one thing only. That means it's time for our Owner Talk podcast. Over 15 weeks, this podcast maps out as we start from zero on our campaign to support Mexican tourism post-COVID. Over 15 weeks, me and my co-host Peter will be covering our journey of how we try to distribute 1,000 bookings per month to quality car rental companies in Mexico. Join us on our journey as we try to sign partnerships, drive traffic to our website, and try to make everything work. And watch us succeed or fail miserably. Join us and learn with us what to do and what to do not. With this exclusive all access to Practical Business 101. All right.
Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
Welcome to Owner Talk.
Yeah, episode 9, isn't it?
Episode 9, I think. Yes.
Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. That's what my dad always used to say.
That's true.
So what's new? What are we talking about today?
Oh, first of all, I guess we should say it's not Tuesday, so we're late. We're recording on Wednesday today. That's a sign of a lot of things happening. We're working on a lot of stuff in our businesses, but I would say one of the most interesting things that we've been doing this week was launching Facebook campaigns, right?
Yeah.
Which is something that you've been working on.
Yeah, I devoted several, I would say, days, like if like maybe not full days, like not the full time, but added up together several hours, definitely daily, and that was a big step which we were uh, planning to launch for the last week. That was basically what it was aiming towards during the last 2 weeks. That's what we were preparing, and
Yeah.
finally we managed to launch it last week.
And one thing I'd like to say that I'm very excited about is that I feel the energy is changing a little bit in what we're doing because we changed the hypothesis, which is what we discussed last week.
Yeah.
Before last week, we were focusing on building up our website, which was and still is, but it's kind of like let's say put to the side right now, secretgoes.com.
Yeah.
But with the onset of using Facebook, we're kind of changing the whole attitude towards more conversationalist approach. And I got to say, I'm extremely excited about it because, and then I'm going to let you say whatever you want to say about it, but just small comments. When you're starting a business and we started working with a website, it's basically about creating something, creating a poster or creating a catalog or something that you think people are going to like.
Yeah,
But the problem is that you're not getting so much feedback. And now we've gone to Facebook and we changed our strategy to talking to individuals and focusing on individual people and trying to get, like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 first clients.
Yeah.
And it's just so much more rewarding from my point of view because you're talking to real people and you're feeling like you're making a completely different type of impact, and it's just so energizing.
Yeah, it was something you said last week, basically, which relates very much to this, because you said up until now we were thinking about the whole project as a business which is basically working, or which is somehow already functional, but we have to take a step back and we have to start thinking of it really as a startup project, as something that we have to start it up. And what do startup projects do? Well, first thing they do, they go and approach the first client and they ask the market basically what the market wants, and that's what we managed to do by launching the communication campaign through Facebook.
Just make something useful for someone.
Yeah,
and that's what this is. And I guess it sounds very basic, it sounds very natural, mundane, almost. But a lot of businesses just don't do that, and I think we're also a little bit guilty of this. And it's just a
Absolutely.
lesson that keeps repeating.
It's just something that you don't realize when you're in the process of creating the business, creating the product. All of a sudden, you're caught up in this in the thought of, okay, I have to do this, and I have to think big, and I have to go there, and I have to do, and all of a sudden you think that you forget the basic about, come on, buddy. First, what you got to do is, you created something, well, let's test it. You go out and you
Yeah.
give it to someone, you offer it, and you ask him, what do you think about it? And that
Yeah.
was the major change of the strategy now, which basically helped us realize, or not helped us realize, helped us accomplish this.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now. So we're actually in real contact with first people who are interested in our product. That was a would say there's only like one of them at the time we're speaking. Now we're recording.
You just no, you just told me like 5 minutes before we
Yeah,
started recording. So
yeah,
I'm really pumped, and I
oh,
don't
yeah,
care that it's just one person.
yeah,
It's just amazing. Like
yeah.
we came up, and I mean, it doesn't matter how many times in your life you do that, but you when you come up with an idea and you
Mm-hmm.
start kind of like asking people, hey, you would you find that useful? And I'm talking about real users. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about random people like your family or friends who are always going to tell you, oh, you're the best anyway.
yeah,
But you're
yeah.
but you talk to real people, and you say, hey, we got
Yeah.
this is what we would you find it useful? And that person tells you, the actual first answer is, I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about, right?
And that's actually what happened. That's exactly what happened. I mean, the person just told me,
What are you talking about, man?
what are you talking about? I mean, can you give me a bit of more info? And all of a sudden you're excited about, oh my God, so okay, well, I thought I told you everything, but let me say it one more time. And the conversation starts flowing somehow. And that is the most valuable thing that
Yeah.
actually happened after the last week of work.
Yeah. So
Let,
we gonna learn how to talk to these people.
yeah.
That's pretty much what we're working on right now.
Basically, yeah. Let me maybe sum up the project, the process for somebody that might be listening and that might be interested in how we
Yeah.
accomplished that. In the beginning, we actually started looking for people who would be interested in this business opportunity of acquiring one of these territories into which we divided Playa del Carmen. And we started offering this exclusive, basically, partnership to participate in the project. And first idea was, where do you advertise such an opportunity? So what we did is we made a selection of basic media for publishing such a classified ad, I would say. We divided it into several sections or sectors of interest. We thought that people concerned with real estate, people concerned with starting their own business, but even people basically looking for a new job or professional opportunity maybe would be interested. And we made a short list of possible channels that included local media, internet versions of the media, and classified ads, accumulators in Mexico, and of course Facebook and social media. Eventually, we realized that publishing in anything else than Facebook would be too far fetched, or if I'm using the right expression. So we decided to go for the Facebook communication, and that's basically what happened last week. We kind of designed a process of approach to these people. So we had some initial posts which we published, which led these people who are interested in the process in the project to our basic explanational video about the project, which is published on YouTube. Maybe we can even post a link in the in the comment here in the video, or if somebody's interested, we can definitely send him the link. And then following the video, the partner, the potential partner, would be forwarded to a questionnaire. Where
So
he
I mean, that's a good. I would say that's a good explanation of the process. That's a good explanation of what happened. Why were we doing this?
Why were we doing the whole process? Because we wanted to basically establish a fixed net, or like a position which would create a funnel through which we would basically be able to either mm, how do you say it? Talk to the right candidates, and on top of that, be able to shortlist them and somehow evaluate them, and then be able to approach them with a specific offer. Because what we also expected to happen is that through this questionnaire, they would somehow disclose their needs, or how exactly, what would be exactly better for them with the cooperation. And again, it was a way of us addressing the market. But
Yeah, yeah.
through this process, applying this process, we realized that it was again, even this 3-step process was far fetched, too much. And
To be honest with you, just as I'm listening to you explain it, it sounds very far fetched.
it
So
is, it was even like this, even
I would just add one thing. I would just add that the main point and the main idea behind the whole thing, behind the whole process, and I think we might use it in the future. But the main idea behind this whole thing was to find out whether somebody's gonna find it useful to put an offer of rental companies into their
yes,
Airbnbs.
yes, yes.
So you have an Airbnb, you're making a certain amount of money renting it out to visitors. And what we're saying is, hey, you can make a little bit more money, maybe offering rental services to your
Mm-hmm.
clients. Is this
Mm-hmm.
something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we came up with this concept of, okay, so we need somebody to offer it to the Airbnb people. And that might be somebody who just runs around the different territories, which is what you talked about, and is offering it to the people. And so that's why we came up with this whole territory strategy and trying to get people to buy the territories and so on and so on. And I think just talking about right now, it shows you how complicated we made it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still maintain, if we can validate the idea, if it actually works, if everything that we're saying comes true in
Mm-hmm.
terms of you can make additional 2 to 5,000 Mexican pesos, which is like 200 or $1 to $250 per month. If we can validate it, I think this process is going to be very legitimate. But
Mm-hmm.
now we're taking a different strategy, which is talking directly to the Airbnb owners on Facebook, which is what you're in charge of.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. And that is, again, see, once you're in the process, you're already too basically involved in the very big detail, and that's why I need you to, or somebody, or generally we are doing this as a partnership, to be able to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. So just as you're saying, eventually we realized that the best way to address the Airbnb operators or owners, who are our main target of interest, who we think are the people that can benefit mostly from the product. Eventually, we decided we're just gonna basically ask them ourselves, and instead of addressing people who would like to address the Airbnb owners, we are the people that are addressing
Yeah.
the Airbnb owners
Yeah.
directly.
No, but I have to say something. I really have to say, it just makes me very, very excited. And working on the process that we just explained, or that you just explained, meaning, oh, we're gonna have the territories, we're gonna be selling the territories, and so on and so on. It was uh, it was quite tedious. It was quite tedious work. Enjoyable, but at the same time, just kind of like theoretical, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're going to the direct owners of Airbnbs and we're talking to them and saying, hey, look, and the message is very simple, right? It's just, hey, I saw that. And these are people who are advertising
Yeah.
their Airbnbs on Facebook and saying, hey,
Yes.
we got this
Yes.
here, you can blah, blah, blah. So we're saying, look, would you be interested in making maybe additional 2 to 5,000 pesos per month by offering services of other people to your clients? And that's all it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
It
And
must be, and it must be something that they're thinking about. It must be something that they've definitely stumbled upon, and that they must consider a possible good source of
yeah,
income. And hopefully, they will realize that the product which we are offering them will technically help them achieve that goal, which must be underlying in most of these people, entrepreneur spirit, right?
Yeah.
That's what they have, because they are entrepreneurs just like us.
And you actually do see a lot of people doing that. I think it's a very natural progression from
Mm-hmm.
making, because I don't know, I used to be an Airbnb operator quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe like I started like 6 or 7 years ago. That was in Prague when there were not a lot of them around,
Yeah.
and it was very good income. But
Mm-hmm.
as you get more people on the platform,
Yeah.
obviously the service gets more commoditized. There's a lot more competition, your prices go down, and you are just not so profitable anymore. And naturally people are going to be looking for something to cross sell.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at booking.com, for example, that's exactly what they're doing. They
Yeah.
have you go on booking.com or Expedia, whatever, and as soon as you buy something, they offer you other services, like, for example, car rental services. And Airbnbs are not doing this right now. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge market. We made an analysis. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but it's just hundreds or maybe tens of billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a huge opportunity. There's a huge, huge opportunity. And these guys, they're going to have to do it,
Mm-hmm.
because that's just the way how to, and it's a proven model.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a matter of, okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
It's just a matter of the of doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So on this basically punchline, that's the major point of last week's work, launching the Facebook campaign, and the result is just as you said, about now 20 minutes old first person who is interested. So again, starting to work with conversion rates and
Yeah.
number of people addressed and number of people who are going to reply and react to the offer, and we're going to hit it from there basically
Yeah.
next couple of days, definitely.
Yeah. And one last thing that I want to say before we go is I'm excited again, and I'm always extremely excited about this when it proves right.
Yes.
And that's the universal conversion rule, which I
Okay.
always say that there's a universal conversion rule, and people laugh at me. And
Okay.
every time,
And every
and every
time you
time it's
prove them
proven
wrong,
right,
every time you're proven right and they're
I'm
proven
super
wrong.
excited about it. And we talked about it just before the podcast.
Yeah.
And you said that there's a conversion. What was that? What was
It's a 5%
what was
conversion.
it's, which is amazing.
I send out about 20 messages, and one person replied.
So that's even better. Then I think for me the universal conversion rule is somewhere between 1 to 3%. Although we
Yeah.
haven't converted that person into like working with us,
Yes.
but we converted that person into talking to us.
Communicating. Yes.
And there is a universal conversion rule, and I think it's extremely important to take into consideration every time you're starting a business
Mm-hmm.
or you're thinking about starting a business. If you're not
Absolutely.
offering something completely crazy, although I'm putting that to question as well, because these days I don't even know what's crazy anymore. You got people flying to space
Yeah.
randomly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And there's this saying that every product has its buyer,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
everybody,
Just yeah,
nothing's crazy enough
yeah.
to be rejected by the market.
Okay, so exactly. So I think today we can end on this maxim, or whatever it be called, and that is just get out there and do it.
Yeah, get out there and do it. So, again, don't forget to give us a subscribe if you like what we're doing. This project still has about 6 weeks or 7 to go, and hopefully we'll hear from you. Anything you want to ask us, secretgoats.com, and apart from that, maybe Affiworks.com. That's also a website that we can start redirecting people to.
Yeah, Affiworks.com. Great talking to you.
Yeah.
Good luck, and talk to you again next week.
Yes, to you too, Pavel. Have a great
All
day.
right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.